There's like an Erica Synth
Novation's
fusion
doing a
model.
thing. Also, there was the Black Noir. I don't know if that's new. I thought it was pretty new. I hadn't seen it before. It's a drum machine module by Endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, how did they do that? How are they so fucking cool? Like, everything about like their presentation and everything, I'm just like, damn, you guys are cool. At first I thought they were real hipster. But now I just think they're legitimately cool.
Endorphins. I don't know much about sea life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's kind of.
I gotta pull my curtain.
Yeah, you do.
That you're calling it the curtain, are you?
And yeah, I don't know. Endorphins is like, yeah.
By the way, that Endorphins module, I don't care how cool that sounds.
What?
It
All right.
looks really fun to use, and it looks like it's very flexible, and I really like a lot about it, except for the way it sounds. The kick drum is nice. It's like a big old fat 808 boom, with a lot of character, but that snare, what? Dude, come on. At first I thought it was a joke, or, because I watched the Bo Beats review, and I was just like, oh, he's just got it on like a weird setting or something. They'll have like a character knob or something. Oh, okay, so you can extend the tail of it so it goes, and then you can make it go like, oh man, that's really something. Okay, so it's got like different modes, right? He's like, yeah, it's got different modes. You turn this and it goes from to like, all right. And then these and then you have this other sound, and then you have the metallic sound, and then there's this fill sound, and then this tom. Like, what? Dude, I just heard the same like noise with attack.
I'm not hearing it.
Noise with short attack and short decay, and that was like it. And I don't know, there were 6 of those noises in a really kick-ass bass drum. But you can plug in external sounds to it and run it through its effector. I don't really know what the effector does. I skipped over that part because I was really saddened by. Yeah, I was saddened by 6 out of the 7 sounds on the module.
It makes it sound
just
like
sounding like.
It's cock without a no.
Yeah.
So there's some other synth news as well. Like there's like firmware updates mostly, like because of the Keystep Pro firmware.
There's another Keystep Pro firmware?
Yeah.
Keystep Pro. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a boring one though. I read it and the reading the update notes put me to sleep. It's like there's some quality of life things for some real power users, and I think like lengths are a little bit more reliable or something. That's about it.
SL Mark III firmware update.
Ooh, I did not know that one.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like arpeggiator and sequencer features they put into the thing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like that they are updating it and fixing stuff and making small quality of life. Not every firmware update that comes out needs to be this big release of brand new gifted features. I mean,
sure,
it's awesome when companies do that. Novation often does do that. They listen to but not everybody needs to do that. Sometimes a firmware update is just like, hey, here's a few bugs, and some people might encounter these, and if you do, here's a firmware update that patches this shit.
Oh yeah.
That almost to me makes it seem like the gear was more complete when it first got started to begin with.
Right.
There's something a little bit better about that. Launching when you're ready.
We talked about Iridium, yeah. But they actually did announce it the day after we talked about it, so.
Yeah, we got into it though. There's not much else to cover on Iridium.
Yeah, we pretty much covered that thing.
You know what we never have covered on here is we really haven't covered anything by MFB. I want to do a show on them just so I get a chance to spend a week like researching everything they've done. MFB has some really killer synths, and I really had only thought of them as just like a drum machine manufacturer, but I listened to the demos on one of their synths, and it is just straight up aggression and gorgeous. That and the apparatus are the 2 that I thought were really cool this week. That's not news though, but Look Mum came out with a video.
Did you? I assume the one that you're talking about was the Synth Pro by them.
MFB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
'Cause
so.
that thing's slick. Their Stimming did a really good demo/review of it, and it was cool. That thing looked like a lot of fun. It sounded great.
Yeah, we should cover MFB at some point. The did you hear the apparatus yet?
I
Ho,
did
ho,
not
ho.
hear the apparatus.
Okay, so we're
Please
gonna
don't
do
think
that
so.
tonight because that way we can actually get your live react to hearing it for the first time.
Where the
So
You guys
fuck
haven't
do you-
talked about the Mega FM on the show, have you?
No,
Mega
but you're the guy for
FM.
that, right?
What's that?
You're our guy for that, right? You
Well, I
got
don't
it.
have it yet. I don't even think they've shipped it yet. I think they need to build it.
Oh, okay.
But I do know a bit about
Oh,
it, so I can talk a bit
damn.
about it if we get
Look
to there.
at that. They built themselves a little Hydra-looking beautiful box. I like it.
Isn't that pretty? I love the tubes.
No, the Mega FM. It looks
Oh,
very
yeah.
Hydra-like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got two YM2612 FM chips from a Sega Genesis for 12-note poly, and it's got a slider for each parameter, which makes it pretty unique among FM synths. I personally don't know an FM synth that has a slider for each parameter.
There is a module. I forgot the name of it, but I linked it
It's
to you
intense.
one time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it-
and it's exactly that. It's a slider for each parameter.
I
And-
would challenge that it actually has a slider for each parameter. I want to look at that because this one was like a 4-operator one and a slider for every parameter on it. It was like 200 parameters.
There's
it was
a lot
insane.
of sliders.
Yeah.
But yeah, having that in a standalone box like that, especially in a slick looking standalone box like that, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's got a nice aluminum case.
Yep.
The most important piece of gear news.
Oh, your electric harmonica. What's it called again?
My electronic kazoo. Thank you very much.
Man.
Also,
yeah.
Oh, that thing's a
possibly-
lot bigger than I expected.
Possibly drug paraphernalia too.
This Mega FM is really interesting to me because it's an FM synth but it's got the classic sound. It's got the Sega sound, and that to me is more meaningful than the SID sound. Because honestly, I played a lot more Sega than I did Commodore 64. So this to me is actually really interesting. I might get in on this.
How did
I
you
feel
make
like-
that link? I'm curious. Like the brains are parallel processors. They link weird shit together all the time, especially if you eat mushrooms. But how did you get from C64 to Sega? How did that link together in your brain? Like what were the bridging factors? Try to map it out.
Because the Mega FM is like SID Station Synths in that the core of it that generates
Gotcha.
sound is
Okay.
a harvested chip from a video game system.
Gotcha.
It's the only other one like that. No that I know of. I mean, I think people have modified NESs, but
Mhm.
it hasn't really been. Let's rip the chip out and put it into a whole new thing and give it parameters and stuff. And Scott even has one. But the C64, in fact, Electron got started by ripping them out and then you could rip them out yourself, and lots of other people jumped on it. But now people have started doing that to Segas for the same exact reason why Girl Geek loves Sega sound, because the FM chip on it has such a distinctive tone to it. It has this really bright,
Sounds
shiny,
like
beautiful,
ultra extra harsh and shitty.
yeah.
That's what the Genesis or the YM 2612 is all about. I appreciate that.
Me too, and it's a signature thing, and it also triggers these nostalgia buttons. But also, there's like this collector aspect to it, like the Commodore 64 thing, because it became this synth thing that people got into. You can't. It's really hard, at least, to find an intact Commodore 64 to get a chip from. There's a finite number of them that were made. They're not making more. You can get like replica chips, but that's not the same, right?
You can
I've
also
been
get
looking
you
for
can get truckloads of
C64.
counterfeit chips too.
Yeah,
Sure.
I've been looking for a C64 for a while because I want to get one of those Messiah carts, the cart that has the DIN plug in it, so you can just get MIDI into it that way. You guys
Cool.
know about that?
Oh yeah.
Scott has 2 chips. He has 2 of them. He has a SID station he built like into a 19-inch rack like 12, 15 years ago, a long time
Slaughter
ago. And he
has one.
And he did one last year too, and it's in his Euro rack. Or maybe he took it out, but he has a Euro rack module now with it.
Oh, and actually, I'll just do this right here since Slaughter, you're obviously listening in. I apologize for the delay. Your item is shipping tomorrow morning. That is all.
Thank you. Thank you for shopping at Coherence.
Oh, I didn't
Oh.
even realize we were live already.
Oh yeah,
we-
we've been live.
We've been
yeah.
live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't,
So quick,
back when I was
put
talking
your
about the
wiener away.
floppy penises in Chernobyl.
Let me pull up chat here.
And there hasn't been much chat, but we are definitely live.
Oh yes.
That Mega FM is pretty cool. I guess we could start there while we're waiting for some of the other Synth Saturday folks to come on. Let's. I'm gonna crack the whip a little bit and let people know
Correct that
that
whip.
here.
Dum, 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 dum.
Give the pass a slip. Thank you. Thanks for not leaving me hanging, Co.
Do we have the ability to show a video on here?
Uh-huh. So I
let's
would
add,
recommend
let's
just
add-
linking it in the
let's-
chat. It's
Yeah,
Let's add
link it.
Cal. Well, I need to add Cal to the. I don't think he's on the
here,
chat.
let me
All right.
let's add you.
I'll pull up that Mega FM like trailer video. It's only like 40 seconds long.
Oh yeah, I've got that up already, so we can do that.
Okay.
In fact, we'll open with that. I like it. Here we go. And
Blue.
pull that down. Pull this over a little bit. A little bit more.
Little
A
lower.
little bit more.
Little lower.
Okay, let's
Daddy.
Let's welcome to Gear-Splaining 57. Let's get ready to infringe.
Woo!
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Word.
Welcome to Movie Phone.
And welcome to Movie Phone, where your copyright is yours.
That is awesome.
That is pretty slick.
How much was it?
They make a bunch of cool little instruments. If you have not checked them out before, do so. They've got a great little 303 jobby. They seem to specialize in YM2612 repurposing, AY3 repurposing, basically all the sound chips from various game consoles, mutilated into forms, whether they be modular or desktop or even little pocket ones that are very much like a pocket operator, but different orientation and different use case. It's cool stuff. I like it.
Nice.
That is awesome. And how much was that thing?
I paid like $550 plus shipping. I think it was like 470 euros.
Yeah,
Wow.
474 euros, excluding
That-
that.
That is worth every freaking penny.
Oh, you know what? They have the perfect description of it right here. Beautiful dirt. Unlike most FM synthesizers that are
Used to
very
call my
clean
mom.
and digital, the YM2612 had a very characterful tone, allowing a broad sound palette ranging from beautiful plucked strings to growly, distorted bass lines. And when you push them too hard, you got Streets of Rage.
This is the
What was
most
that?
interesting
What was
FM
that sound?
synth ever to me.
Thank you.
That horrible ringing, distorting. Ugh.
I love it though. This is a very interesting FM synth to me because I'm all about the dirt. I love the dirt. I love getting dirty tones.
So
And
one
that's the
interesting
second
feature
thing.
Yeah.
that it's got is that
Salvo, thank you for the post.
Salvo.
Or
Thank
the
you for
rating,
the
whatever we
raid.
just did. What did we do?
Salvo.
Rating. I am so tired.
Let's take a look at the specs anyway, because this is pretty cool.
Yes.
All right, so we've got 12 voice polyphony. Yeah, buddy, it's 4 operator. It's got dual YM2612 chips. So what are they using the duals for, out of curiosity?
well, with one chip you only get 6 voices.
So it's literally just to double it.
Isn't it? Wasn't it like 6+1 or something? They got the little noise track.
There's a sample channel too,
Okay.
Yeah,
but
there's
it
a
doesn't seem to be utilizing that at present. Maybe they'll release an update for it.
Yes, add percussion, because then we can sound just like the Black Noir, but like it's already included in a firmware. update.
Joe Montana. Play my football game.
Perfect. 8 algorithms, 600 memory preset, arranged in 6 banks, preset randomizer, that's cool. 4 voicing modes. They can do all 12 in poly, or you can do a stereo, a wide stereo 6 voice. a special CH3 mode, and a 12-voice unison with detune/fat knob if you really want to make ears bleed. I
Oh my
like it.
god. I want to feel like my fillings shoot out of my back of my teeth.
32 sliders. Yeah, buddy.
Is it mono or stereo output? Do you know?
It's
stereo.
Mono or stereo? Derp. I could have just read the specs.
Oh, but it is a combo jack. Oh no, wait, out 1, out 2. Maybe you
So
can
they're
configure that as
dual-
stereo.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you only plug the one in on the left, it sums the both channels into the one.
Nice.
Okay, got it. Neat.
One feature I'd really like them to add would be a multi-timbral thing, because it would be really nice to have like all 12 channels set up on different MIDI channels, so I could build an entire song instead of just having the one patch going at a time. Maybe they'll end up adding that.
I can't believe this stuff is on the radio.
Thank you for the follow. Anyone want to take a crack at that one?
Ithilenius.
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 I think it's Ithilenius. Ithilenius. Thanks.
Captain I, thank you.
So Dan,
Do I still have
think,
audio? I just had a cat walk over the mixer.
I think you have to
Yeah,
add
you're
Dallas to
good.
the chat because I cannot. It's just grayed out. I must not be the king of this here channel. But I
No,
see that
it's
you're
not
wearing
that.
the crown.
It's because you're not friends with him in Discord. Or requires
Oh.
that. And
These
I'm not
people,
friends
bro.
with you in Discord either. Or
You
but
guys
maybe
all
no, I am.
suck.
I am. All right, I added him. Yeah, to add people, you gotta like,
You gotta be friends.
yeah. It's
Why
weird. It's
can't
just weird.
we be friends?
Well,
Discord,
Code,
like
tell me.
apparently, a long time ago, decided it was gonna try to do the friend thing. This is an awesomely unique thing, and I love the fact that it's got genuine Sega chips inside of it. To me, that's like the thing that sells it. That the UI, this will be a limited edition run, and it's going to be something that you're just going to love it, Callus. This is going to be great in your studio. It's going to create tones and textures that you can't reach for yet, and hopefully they keep it well updated. Obviously, I bet that they would keep it updated for a little bit, but eventually they're gonna. It'll just be like a locked-in unit, and then you'll
Well, I
have
mean,
like one of the only ones.
What did they really need to update on it? They could add
Well,
maybe more
multi-timbrality
arpeggiation
or
modes.
Maybe the sampler, the ability to use the sampler.
Oh, you don't have any input
So
unless
I think
load via USB
would
or
they-
something.
is the second version going to be like the Dreamcast or?
Oh, there we go.
Wait, did the Dreamcast have an interesting musical chip in it? I thought by then they were
think-
really just using
I don't-
CD audio.
I don't think it was
remember
very
what they
interesting
had
about
in there.
Sega
anything.
Saturn has a
Let's
really cool
find
synth
out.
chip.
Doug, Doug asks, wouldn't a Yamaha Mod X montage be a better solution for an FM keyboard? And there's a lot to unpack there. So first off, there's
Yes,
a wonderful
this isn't a
FM
keyboard.
thing in there. But that said, you're buying thousands of dollars and also getting a whole bunch of other things, which you may or may not want. Deke will jump in here. Go click that link. You're on the show. Come on, man. You're spending thousands of dollars on a workstation keyboard that you might not actually want. Maybe you do. If you do want all that, then that's great. But I would never buy the Mod X montage just for an FM keyboard. The next piece to this, damn, Callus, you are hitting it. Holy shit.
Off we go.
Wait a minute. Is that
Me
what
and
you
Womber
do
are
every
doing a
time?
shot.
Is that when you guys count down numbers? Is that what you do every time?
Yeah, you didn't know?
I knew you drank. I didn't know you drank that much. You picked up the whole bottle and chugged for a second.
Well, no,
Well, he damn near pisses blood, this guy.
Pissing blood,
Not
pissing
blood.
ladies and
Plasma.
gentlemen,
Get it right.
Solomon.
Yeah.
So, real quick, to go back to the Dreamcast for a moment, it was equipped with the 67 megahertz Yamaha Super Intelligent Sound Processor.
Super
The
intelligent.
Dreamcast was really good for arcade fighting games and arcade
Fighting
shoot 'em ups.
games, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Soul
if
Calibur
you
on
like
that thing.
those
Mm.
two, well,
so good.
Soul Calibur was freaking amazing. If you don't like fighting games or shmups
Or Fishing
Then-
for
then
Bass.
or that Seaman game, which is freaking
Seaman.
hilarious.
For those
So-
who may not know, the
So that
Crazy
Dreamcast-
taxi.
that chip,
was,
though.
Crazy Taxi is a freaking amazing game.
The Dreamcast was just Sega's Naomi arcade hardware with half the RAM, so that's why the
Yep.
ports were so good.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, man. It started there. Like that, and that game is still going strong.
Wow, that's crazy. Actually, it was a quarter of the RAM apparently.
Oh, a quarter.
The Naomi had 8 megabytes of RAM, and the Dreamcast had 2 megabytes of RAM. But the sound chip, so is 32-bit RISC chip, PCM, 64 simultaneous audio channels, 16-bit, 48 kilohertz. That's right, 48 kilohertz.
That's all you
That's
need.
it. Yeah.
So rolling back to Doug's question, because I want to keep answering it, because it's just really interesting way of looking at
The
this.
question that keeps on giving.
The other thing about it is this is not it's not a conventionally great FM synth. Obviously, the Mega FM is not what if you were loaded up with operators, make it like FM8, or Citrus, or but it's not. It's its own thing. It's the Sega one. So the other reason to get it is so you can sound like a Sega Genesis, which
No, I
the
think
Mod
the
X
best-
montage isn't going to get you there.
The best thing about that Mega FM is not even the Sega Genesis part of it. It's the fact that it's knob per function FM. Good luck
Slider
finding
per
something else
function.
like that. Yeah, slider per function, even better. The Mod X is a cool thing, but no soul.
Now,
Yeah.
what I'm really hoping for the Mega,
Mega
FM
FM
is
is
that it's going to
frickin-
teach me a bit about how FM synthesis works, because I have a
will.
Volca FM,
Can't
but
learn shit on that thing.
yeah, it's all menu diving. So I'm hoping when I have tactile controls for each parameter, I'll actually start to click with it.
Yeah.
You will, because you're gonna move a slider up. It's gonna go wow, and you're gonna be like, "This thing's freaking great," and you're gonna learn it. Like that's how every freaking synth works. You turn a knob and like, "Holy shit, that's awesome," and then you just learn it from
You
there.
make the connection. Yep.
Yeah,
Or
So
so immediately figure what you're doing, like I do.
If you
Yeah,
want to have the
that's
most
called
advanced
talent. X. Don't sell yourself short.
FM synthesis possible, it's going to be software. You're going to get an FM8, you're going to get Citrus. There's other ones on your computer that can get further than anything. But that's if you're going to do strict sound design. You're not going to play those. You're going to develop a sound and record a track with it. You're not going to break those out live ever. And you're really not going to learn easily on them because there's so much menu diving and so much math and so much calculation. On the other hand, this thing, one knob per function on FM, holy crap. You can literally just tweak your way there. That's going to be awesome. And it's hardware. Yeah, I think this is an awesome piece of gear.
Well, another
Yeah,
cool feature of the Mega FM is the fact that I believe you can use CC if you have it hooked up to a DAW. You can use CC to modulate all the parameters at once, so you could have some really dynamic sounds coming out of it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's this and the Digitone, like for the best way to get into FM. I like the Mega FM is not as robust and can't do as much as the Digitone, but it's way more immediate.
Mhm.
And Digitone,
That's the
part of what you
trade-off.
spend the money on is the Electron way.
Well, this is like one exception. Like in any other Electron thing, the Digitone is one of the very few intuitive FM synths out there. I think it's the first one damn near ever. The Mega FM is up there too now. Like FM synths are just like one data select slider and that does everything.
Right.
Can't do shit with that. The Electron way finally makes it easier. The Mono Machine was another one, a precursor to that. Made it very easy to get into FM sounds, but it's great. People are going to be able to actually use FM to do something interesting instead of just preset diving. 'Cause that's boring. That's less than an hour and you're done.
So, Manano has a Volca FM, and I think that one's also pretty immediate, though I haven't tried it myself. I've heard it's actually quite excellent. You can take patches from DX7 and throw those on there, and
Yep.
it has a lot of knobs. It's an overperformer for the Volca line, as I understand it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can use it with Dext.
that's
Yeah.
what makes it immediate. Is if you use Dext. If you don't use Dext, then you're going to throw it out the window, and that's really the problem with it. But for $150, Volca FM is like impossible to beat as like
Yeah.
an entryway in. Like nothing
Yeah.
beats that.
I use the
It-
Volca FM in almost every jam I do.
And it's
Yeah.
freaking great when you use it.
Yeah.
It's like it just adds that extra spice to everything you do.
Hey, Manano, why aren't you doing Synth Saturday? You can
What the
freaking
hell?
jam, man. You're killing it. Every
wrong
one of
with
your
you?
sets that I go to and I listen to is awesome. You
Yeah,
gotta get on there.
Bonato.
There's still time, man.
I thought he was gonna do it.
He's not on the schedule. I don't see him on there. I thought he was too.
I love his generative stuff that he does. It's really interesting watching him like grow these little synth plants in this one plugin that he uses that
Yeah.
make things really interesting.
Yeah, and he's been
Yeah,
a
we
big inspiration
cyberbullied
for me
him.
as I'm jumping into DAW world more on weekdays, my more casual streams that I've been doing. That's I've been like thinking like, okay, this is like a world that is worth diving into and opening up because of his streams. So I want to see you get in on there. Yep, well, we're
He's a
cyberbullying you.
unicorn.
Sorry.
Yeah, Manano,
Well,
just go into the Synth Saturday group and put your availability. Or should we? I mean, it's really Synth Weekend at this point. I mean,
Yeah, but we're gonna keep up the Synth Saturday name because we're kind of derpy like that.
yay! I like Derpy.
He's in Japan, so it kind of works out in that one like black hole
Japan.
Saturday morning.
Wait,
Yeah, you can pick
Manano,
one of
you're in
those morning
Japan?
spots
I
pretty
thought you were in New
Yeah.
Zealand.
No, he's an Australian in Japan.
Oh, okay.
China.
Let's see, Bleep. If you're there, why don't you jump in on the
Why aren't you
stream?
jumping in the screen? Get your ass up on here.
Yeah, I would love it if Slaughter would jump in. Slaughter one day will tell us when he's ready. Oh, Bleep's at work. All right. I think it's still possible for you to jump in. I don't know, but that's
just do it at work. It's fine. Just take some
going
calls.
for 2 hours. Yeah.
Just be like, no, this synthesizer sucks. Yeah, can I help you? Let's go.
Just take
Yeah,
all your
right.
gear into the bathroom and jam in there, and no one will know.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you want 500 rubber nipples? Yeah, 500 rubber nipples? Yeah, I hate the DX7. I think it sucks. It's so hard to program. All right, Blackpool is also at work. All right,
Blackpool's
so
at work.
those are
Bleep
fair.
Temple's
But
at work. That's
you know
awesome.
who's not at work is Dequel.
Yeah, so why isn't Equal on here?
Let's call him
Well,
out. We're gonna.
he's at work in Azeroth right now.
Yeah, I'm
It-
looking in Discord. He's been in Azeroth for the last 21 minutes. So
he's getting shit done, man.
Have y'all
Yeah.
seen this?
he's crafting gloves or something.
The Duo or the Dado synthesizer for
Oh,
two.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this thing's cool.
I want to get that for Lori and I for Pillow Talk.
I don't know anybody who has bought it, but it's really cool.
I am seriously tempted just to have that for bedroom sexy times.
That kind of reminds me of the Bleep box. Looking at it,
That's exactly where I was gonna go with it until Ix said bedroom sexy time. I was gonna be like, yeah, I kind of want to get this for my kids, and now I'm like, pass it.
They do make one of these just for kids too.
I thought
It's
that
not
was
like-
the kid one.
They're all for kids.
Yeah, and yeah, anything's a sex toy with enough imagination.
Yeah. Equal, jump in the stream. Go to the whereby link and jump on because we're gonna start just talking
Jump in the
since Saturday
stream,
soon.
and not the one
And-
that's below Dalaran.
This
No.
oh
So the Dado Duo synth for 2 is only $339
Mm-hmm.
US. I mean, that's a pretty inexpensive little guy there. I mean, I
a very low barrier aphrodisiac.
indeed. I mean, I would pay twice that for synthesizer sex.
I
Just
feel like
I
Why
keep
is it
expecting you to get the bra, and I think Grogi is expecting the bra to shoot at your head every time you say that as well.
I was really hoping. I mean, Lori went upstairs, but that would be fantastic. I should call her down here and ask if she would do dirty things to me while we played the Dado Duo.
Arrange this, yes.
Stand by.
We can increase our viewer count, and get into different channels and categories, and eventually kicked off of Twitch.
I feel like that thing needs a divider between both sides, like you'd have in school, so you don't cheat.
Oh, so you don't spit
So-
on each other.
So you can't see what the other side's doing. I feel like that's important.
So it's a 12-bit monophonic synthesizer with 2 oscillators, 2 pole low-pass filter with resonance, 2 drum pads, kick and snare, delay and bit cruncher effects, 8-step circular sequencer, 2-octave minor pentatonic keyboard, boost and random effects, and built-in speaker. I mean, if that
Everything
doesn't
you
sound,
need.
Penetronic keyboard and a 2-pole filter.
A
yeah,
pentatonic keyboard.
I
So
mean, you
just
guys were
like
talking
that.
about built-in speakers last week.
yeah,
I was keeping with the pillow talk motif. Sorry.
yeah. That's okay. I saw what you did there.
What
And I was
it?
just sandbagging.
Yeah, there was what is it? So Girl Geek was mentioning about the YM chips and like where are those coming from for the Mega FM? there's a lot of manufacturers out there. Like I understand Commodore. Commodore is not going to spit out more MOS chips or anything, right? So
Right.
fine. Yamaha is still a company. Yamaha still makes some electronics. Why
And
in the
motorcycles.
hell are they not just blowing out a run of actual YM chips, which they own the intellectual property and schematics for, and
Because they're
probably
Yamaha.
yeah, and they could just drop it on like a really simple like 24 nanometer fab for dirt, like for nothing, crank out like 500,000 of the shitty chips, and then sell them for like $40 each and make a fucking killing.
Right?
Why aren't manufacturers paying attention to this shit?
Make a PowerPoint, fly over there, learn Japanese, and convince them.
Well, I've already agreed to open up the Mega FM for the Girl Geek because she asked me in Discord if we could take a look at it once I got it.
Don't void,
So-
void your warranty for that. At least use it a few times to make sure it doesn't break.
Yeah, I say go for
You
it.
got a soldering iron, right?
You know how to
Yeah.
fix stuff. Just do it earlier in the day as opposed to later.
Cool project. Oh my god.
Do it before you hang out with Wambra. Right?
I'm planning on
that
bringing that
they-
to Wambras.
just Yamaha being able to figure out that they could make money off that would make it not profitable, because it would take like 5 bazillion meetings with 200 vice presidents just to be like, okay, let's launch these chips that we already have designs for. Like, they're just a giant corporation that can't get their own head out of their asses. Say what you will about Roland, they can still create and launch new products. Yamaha is like, here's, I don't know, fucking Mod X. Yeah, like they
That-
barely
that
remember they even have
really-
a keyboard division. They're the
That
most
really
boring trade
tells
show.
you- That really tells you something if you're saying Roland's doing a better job than Yamaha. That tells
They're-
you how shit Yamaha is right now. Roland is just like cranking out the same nonsense every couple of years. Yamaha is cranking out no nonsense. And not
Yeah, but
even
that's
the good
thing is,
no nonsense.
Yamaha could take a few notes from Roland. Roland's
Yeah.
crapping out the same stuff and selling it, where
Yeah.
Yamaha, people are scrounging to buy their leftovers off the fucking black market.
It's a freaking meme
Yeah.
to find, like, I found a DX7 in a dumpster.
Like,
Like, that's a
please, we
freaking internet
want your
joke."
garbage, Yamaha. And Yamaha's like, we make nice bookshelf speakers, guys.
Hey,
And
And-
motorcycles, yes.
Do you want to
and
buy
boat-
bookshelf
boat
speakers
motors?
or a
How about some
Virago?
boat motors?
We can sell you a Virago.
The
Actually, their little guitar amp that's like this
Yeah.
big. That in itself sells like so freaking much.
Mm.
It's little. They have a handful of products in like the guitar area that just do not stay on shelves, and because those products do so damn well, they never make anything. It's like easy money. Don't waste it on R&D, which sucks.
No, they're gonna waste it. That's kind of their MO. Roland is a much better company, and yes, they both are crapping out their old stuff and rehashing it. But Roland still manages to like put it into unique new form factors. Their newest generation, they actually stopped like doing half the stupid shit they do. They still doing plenty of stupid shit, but the current newest generation is actually authentically better. They still have a few gems every single generation that are new, forward thinking, that are really cool. Even if they do fucking stub their toe
I
on
think that
something.
actually stops now. And here's my theory on that. The Zencore VST.
Yeah.
They locked it behind a fucking subscription service.
Wait, they locked the Zencore behind a subscription service?
Yeah,
well,
you
that-
have to subscribe to like
they
one
did.
of the upper tiers
Roland
of
Cloud or
Roland
something?
Cloud to
Yep.
get access to the bits of the VST that are actually interesting.
So
And
I would
by the
not
way,
do that.
it's a Rompler, right? It's just like it's not even that cool. It's nice, it sounds good, but like it's nothing special. And they're like, yeah, pay us $15 a month. You're like, really?
Yeah.
Come on, like
Hooray! Thanks.
you've hit a new low. This is very special even for you guys.
So, and as Neon will point out, the Roland Cloud thing, they secretly got rid of you get to own one of the VSTs. They're not going to figure out the VST game, and they're not going to figure out this whole cloud subscription game. They're way behind on fucking both of them. But they pump out so much shit that occasionally they get lucky. I don't think that their streak ends. I think they keep on pumping out tons and tons of shit, and they keep on getting lucky and having a few that are really cool, and that's just how it's going to go with them. With Yamaha, the Mod X is a fucking motif, okay? it's a motif. They just like threw their old FM engine in on it, and it's so overpriced, and a few people get it because they love Yamaha sounds, and that's it.
Dude, the
much is it?
only people who win a better version of the best fart in church award, I mean, beyond Roland with that one, because releasing that in the peak of everybody has to stay at home and not work because, you know, the plague. They're like, hey, but also you can use this cool new VST that's free, asterisk, you have to sign up for our service. And you're like, oh, okay, so you want to fleece money from me for your shitty VST while most of us aren't working. Awesome. You're awesome. You're the best. Would be Pioneer DJ. Come on down. You guys win it. That's right. When the entire entertainment industry is closed and DJs literally have zero work, period, as a matter of law, they have decided that their record box software, which also the shit that connects to the hardware so that you can use record box like with the hardware that you bought, like the $2,000 CDJs, it is now also subscription based.
Are you kidding me?
No. No. And their answer, and it was like right when the world locked down, they're like, yeah, so now you pay $15 a month for the same features that you already had. And people have features from hardware products that they bought that they cannot use with the latest version of the software unless they pay a subscription fee.
I can't think of anything worse than that, actually. And that's actually one of I'm happy with MC 101 and I'm good with it. So I'm not going to get the companion Zen Core software, but I fucking hate the idea that a hardware company is trying to make it into a fucking platform with subscription fees that will grow. I don't buy hardware for that. I buy hardware to get away from that.
Right?
We all have horse armor to thank for this.
It's fucking horse armor.
It's just $6. What Todd didn't mean anything bad by it.
You know how many fucking $6 charges I pay a month for stupid shit?
Well, that's the greatest stupid shit you could ever buy is horse armor in Oblivion.
Except for you, Netflix. You've been worth it for like 10 years straight. Just putting that out there.
Well, I have never. I canceled Netflix in 2010. I bought a synth with that money.
I canceled Netflix for approximately 2 months on principle, and then my girlfriend's aunt, who like uses our account maybe 3 times a year, she goes to log in, and the little screen came up and said like, "Welcome back. Do you want to activate your subscription again?" And she's like, "I don't know what this means." Yes. I was like,
"Oh, what a boomer move!" Fucking. That is some boomer shit.
So yeah, that means that I don't approve of you canceling the OA at the end of season 2, you pieces of shit. But you know, family's got to watch Netflix. So
Equal, you're still paying for Splice. How do you keep up? You've been on that for like 2 years. Then how many credits do you have? I gotta know.
Wait, it is
impossible to stay.
You know how NI gets you with their sounds.com. So they, it's pretty cheap. It's like $5 a month or whatever, and they give you a ridiculous amount of credits. You could just pick up entire sample libraries, and you're always good. And it's decent. The library's good. It's easy to navigate. But so then you're like, I've got so many credits. I don't really need to continue subscribing because they keep giving you more credits every month. So you're like, I'm just gonna pause my account or cancel. And so you go to cancel, and it's like, cool, you're gonna lose all of your credits right now. And you're like, oh, okay, so I don't get to keep those. Right. Well, I'll just go spend those really quick. And you start looking through the libraries, but you don't decide right away. And then you're like, I'll get back to it tomorrow. And then the following month, you see the $5 charge. You're like, God damn it.
Same exact thing. This annoying, awful trait that society has. Going way back, Doug asked me if I'd rather have a Phantom or an MC707. So if you're giving me the option to have both, I guess I go with the 707. I mean, that's kind of my shtick. I'm not really into workstations. The Phantom is an awesome keyboard if you want a workstation, if that's your thing. So if I were like a really hot keyboard player playing in a band and I didn't want to haul a ton of gear around or bring a laptop out, Phantom would be awesome. But I don't do that, man. I make the Das Bleep Bleep techno music, so I want the groove box, baby. So
and if you were a hot
and that is a view of the cat's butthole right there, Callus. Man,
well, that's right on the White Claw.
You're very welcome.
Yep,
right on the White Claw.
Here's the thing: if you're a hot keyboard player, don't get a Roland Phantom. Get a Nord. Get a Nord Stage. That's the best. real sounds, like the sounds you can. It's all the bread and butters from Roland, and none of the stupid synth sounds you'll never use. Your Rhodes, your piano, your organ. What else? Like that's it. Those are the three, and you're happy for a lifetime.
The
And it
same
costs about the
exact
same.
sounds are on MC 101, so you can just spend $500 and just get them.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about the MC 101. It's got all the sounds from Phantom. I mean, it's missing some of the sound combinations, and it's a Rompler, so I really do question just how many new sounds could be created in the Zen Core. Although I do know that, yeah, there is a VA synth on there, and it can be programmed. But guess what? I got real synths. I'm not going to Phantom, to MC 101, or any of these things to get those sounds. I don't care about the
Right.
synth sounds. I want plucks and other standard bread and butter sounds. I want pianos, and yeah, so maybe, yeah, if you're a really hot player, maybe you should go get Nord. The other thing I appreciate about, though, is that Roland has for years just taken all their sounds, and then they add to it with the next generation, and they add to it again. And so like it still has the same exact old sounds as like my friend's workstation that we used to play around on 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like they just keep cutting
yeah.
and pasting the same exact data into every new Roland.
It's like I said, I have like an XV2020 sitting here, like which was like the improved version of the JV1010.
Yep.
And it's the same GM garbage sounds that were on there with like a little like expansion port that you can put their techno
Garbage.
GM garbage sounds on there.
Yep.
However,
Dance.
those garbage sounds are really handy sometimes. Sometimes you just need like I don't need to if I can just pull out a shitty cheesy string sound out of the XV2020 as opposed to programming something up, I'll use that fucking cheesy ass XV2020 sound and I'll like put my own filter on it or whatever. Yeah, I mean it's but it's funny how often they just keep on using the same, Rompler tunes and stuff like that over and over again.
Callus, did your cats like split and become two? Did
Yep.
like they get hit
Yeah.
by like a
Are you
neutron
familiar
from
with the-
Chernobyl?
They perform mitosis. They do this pretty often. I have to dumpster about 300 cats a day. They just keep splitting.
It's
Like,
gigantic.
I think I saw
Oh.
this. Wasn't Christian Bale in this movie? I think this sounds really familiar. Isn't it like the dueling magicians thing? Never
Yeah,
mind.
that movie actually kind of rocks. By the way,
Yeah, it
it's a
did.
Christopher Nolan movie. What
Yeah.
The Prestige?
The Prestige. Yeah, that was a great film.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, in synthesizer news, is the NTS one ever actually coming out?
It's out.
Maybe.
Lots of people have them. They just haven't made enough of them to ship, and they ran into some COVID slowdowns. But I know
Gotcha.
probably half
Yeah,
a dozen
make-
people in Europe who have
Yeah,
them.
printing a single PCB in a bag of parts has got to be real tough.
Yeah, I
is.
know.
Extremely
Lot of-
difficult.
In like 6 months, they're going to be in every single jam in every studio. But I know I know one person in LA who's got one, and a couple people over in Europe. So they're out. They just haven't yet been directly available in most stores. I think that maybe Perfect Circuit has them from time to time. They're not getting in stock yet in Sweetwater.
Arriving soon.
Yeah, Sweetwater, by the way, everything seems to be arriving soon right now. They're having, I don't know what their issues are, but they're having major issues.
I guess there's a lot of importing issues right now from
Yeah, it's
China and everything like that.
Yeah.
Indiana lockdown too.
Yeah.
Did Indiana
Yeah.
even lock down?
Yeah.
It's because of the spread from the Michigan. I mean, Michigan was the third worst in the country at one point, and it
Right.
spread to northern Indiana, so they locked down just as quickly. But now we're doing good now. Turned around.
I
We got
thought
a good
Northern
governor.
Indiana was like, yeah, this isn't real. We're not locking down.
Well, one of the big part of it is Fort Worth, which is a huge GM light duty truck plant. Lots of people work there, and they commute back and forth from Detroit. And that was a hotbed, and it spread there pretty quickly because GM dragged their ass on closing down things.
No.
It also spread. It also like
Shocking.
really bloomed and blossomed at the RV Hall of Fame.
I actually know where that is.
RV
I know.
Hall of Fame. That's
You
great.
drive past it every time I'm going to Chicago.
Incredible
one day-
donuts in that. I forgot the name of the city in Indiana that's like the RV capital of the world.
It's
Um,
it's where that place is.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it, but the incredible Amish donuts.
The rest stop right there though is hell on earth. It's like
Yeah.
like what the small town is like once they run out of crystal meth.
Yeah, it's literally Fallout. It's like
Yeah.
a desert. It's a
Yeah.
warm. It's a moderate temperature desert with shacks and a McDonald's.
It's true.
A lot of
Pretty
powder
incredible.
gangers around.
Girl Geek doesn't miss driving Ohio. Ohio's paradise until you leave Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Am I right?
Fuck off.
Beating up on Ohio. Yep. I don't mind Ohio. You got the museum. Stay okay
Jaspers.
with me.
Got me.
What else happened this week? There was the Novation thing coming tomorrow. That's kind of something
There's
I
a
don't even know.
thing. It's probably
Novation
hardware. Enrique's involved, so I'm assuming it's hardware. If Enrique
Oh.
goes and demos some software, I will point and make fun of him at the NobCon. That won't happen. So
It's gonna be the Novation cloud. Watch.
yeah, I'll be like,
Yeah,
Novation
cool,
Cloud,
cool,
real
cool.
cool, Enrique.
Yeah, we're re-releasing the Base Station 1 digital. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I mean,
Wow,
I like Enrique, but he got a lot of shit for the demo of that Black Corporation Syrinx.
Yeah.
Because he's demoing a synth that's known for aftertouch with that Novation like pad, and he's just
Oh,
hitting
yeah.
chords, max velocity for every sound. It's like, what the hell? I don't know. That's the only misstep I've seen.
Well, he's not a keyboard. I mean, he admits all over the place that he's
Yeah.
not a key player.
He's not. Yeah.
And
So the
that's-
real misstep is Black Corporation for giving it to him.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a shared misstep, right? He should be able to figure out the special thing about the synth and make sure that he's showing it off. But Black Corporation should also been able to take a look and say, no, we need someone who's really a hot keyboard player who can show off most of this.
Yeah,
Doug
and they
asks-
still haven't done that, which is surprising.
Doug says, have you heard anything about NobCon at Phase 4? We can have 50-person gathering max in Illinois. And what I remember, NobCon is more than 50. Okay, so I talked to Mike from NobCon, and they're still planning on it, but they're good guys. They're not going to do it if it's going to put anyone at risk. So even if we are in a phase that would facilitate or allow NobCon to happen, which we might be in September, they still might or might not do it. They're still going to feel it out based on if they feel like they can provide a safe environment for everybody and do it in a way that if they feel like that it would increase the risk and get anybody sick or cause a death, they're not going to do it.
I really wish that I had. Remember when we had the conversation about COVID way back when, and I had that little diatribe when Doug asked about NobCon, and I said, Doug, if NobCon is canceled, we're gonna have way bigger problems. Well, I wish I could cue that right now.
I know,
and
right?
Be like,
Mad Max?
we've got way bigger problems.
Yeah, we sure do. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think that even still, like, the possibilities of, just because Illinois is doing fine with the numbers and everything like that, all the people that are coming in from out of town, they might be coming from places that aren't doing so well. A lot of people are canceling their travel because of money, because of their job situation and everything like that. And then, also the people that are, that are presenting and everything like that, and the companies and shit like that, they might be like, shut down, cat asshole.
Cat asshole.
All right, new game. Every time we see the cat's butthole,
We have to say
Wambra,
something.
Alice, you guys got to drink.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
All right, so give us the countdown, Wambra.
Like
Wambra,
they need another
countdown.
excuse.
All right, here we go. I'm running out of vodka though.
Oh, that is some chocolate starfish right there.
Oh my god. It's like Eye of Sauron.
Hey, are
Yeah.
we breaking any terms of service with Twitch right now?
Something
Probably.
Like that.
But
Here,
no
hold
one's
up. We gotta focus on maximum
butthole.
butthole here.
Don't
I'm
scream
gonna
at
contribute to this podcast in the only way I know how.
All right, 3,
2. Oh, wait.
2.
Cat butthole. Oh, there you go.
That's
Wow.
a pretty significant.
That's
Eye of Sauron like, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Jeez. Like, I can hear him in my mind. I feel like they call me Pippin. Jesus.
It's
what
like it's like staring at me, man. Holy crap, man.
Mesmerizing.
Thoughts.
All right,
Right,
well,
drink
yeah, drink it, man. It's,
I've got like 2 shots left.
your shots are pretty big. Yeah, where's Flume? Oh, God. Everybody get that joke? Yeah, I really hope someone else
missed
gets
it,
that joke.
Unfortunately,
Oh, you don't get that joke?
I
'Cause
missed it. I
Flume-
didn't hear it.
Oh,
he
so
ate ass at Burning.
at Burning Man.
Oh yeah,
yes.
yeah. What's his face?
That was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was
That
Well,
was
when Mark
before
got
the plague
cool.
times.
yes. The simulated post-apocalyptic wilderness of Burning Man eventually spread to the entire world. Yeah. All right. So what do we got going on here?
Well,
It looks like DeVolta's not going to make it, so we're going to do some. We're going to talk about Synth Saturday right now.
Synth Saturday,
Synth
Saturday. We'll play the whole seat fulfilling me the edge while burning funny
We should get
cars.
that,
For us.
oh, what's his name? The epic movie voiceover guy. We should get him to do a trailer for us.
In a
There's
world.
a guy who's
He died.
Like.
Yeah,
You're
he's
talking
dead.
about the.
I know he's dead.
You're talking about the guy who got booted off of Fiverr.
Oh, he got booted off of Fiverr?
Yeah, it was super dumb. The guy who was doing the Fortnite intros, like the epic. I can't remember what the hell it is.
Don LaFontaine was the original voice.
John LaFontaine. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's dead.
Yeah, he's gone.
There's
He was epic. When you say epic, we're not talking about epic Fortnite guy. We're talking epic like he did these epic movie trailers.
This
And he was
summer,
always, in a world without
you'll
love.
never believe what happens this summer.
Dear Penthouse Forum, you'll never believe what happened to me.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the little tortilla boy.
Yeah, that guy.
Anthony Michael Holland on Not starring.
Well, there's a guy who did a botnet song who I don't know if it was the epic guy from Fiverr, but he did a really cool song about the history of synths in the 80s called Ex Cathedra, which maybe you guys should give a listen to sometime, but he sounded just like Don LaFontaine and it really hyped me up.
Nice. Don LaFontaine.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of a guy named Voiceover Pete. I'm gonna look up one of his things.
That is a lame name compared to
That
Don
is a suck
LaFontaine.
ass
I know,
name.
Don
Yeah.
LaFontaine sounds
That's
like
a
a
cat butthole
part-time
name.
gangster. Like, he had like some kind of mob connections
There
going
it is.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the Attention Gamers guy. Hold up. He's been updating his site too much. There's yeah. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, it was an interesting story. Basically, he was making a bunch of money on Fiverr, and then Fiverr was just like, "Eat a dick." That was all.
Womp womp. What's Fiverr?
You guys ever watch those Davey 504 videos about Fiverr?
I don't know what
Mm.
Fiverr is. What's Fiverr? It sounds like something like
He's Davey 504 is this bassist and he hires a bunch of people to do bass,
Oh, that
guitar,
guy.
or
Okay.
drum tracks over Fiverr, and he compares how much they are. And what I've learned is that $35 is the sweet spot. The artists actually get worse after they start charging more than $35.
that's what Fiverr is. Okay.
I did watch one of those where they did kind of a spread on video editing, like taking a video and a bunch of clips and everything, and then like, here's the theme, make a commercial. And yeah, it was somewhere between like $40 and $60 was the sweet spot. It was not the most expensive one by any means. It was like kind of mid-range, did like an incredible bang up job that was commercial quality.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about tracking that guy down to do a song on the history of drum machines. And if he's kicked off Fiverr, then I don't know what I'm going to do.
Check out Tenor.
UK fans are all are having a chuckle there.
All right, something just came up. Derp to derp. Sorry. All right, I'm back.
That's okay. We're experiencing dead air without you because we miss you so much.
Yeah, it was Fiverr or some shit like that.
Tender.
Remember that time, PewDiePie? Whatever. All right. PewDiePie, right? All right, so let's talk Synth Saturday. We got really distracted when I said Synth Saturday, and then Ix was like, Synth Saturday. So let's talk about Synth Saturday, because that is what we're actually here to do. And I was hoping more people who are going to be on Synth Saturday showed up, but that's all right. We can still get this done. So
Did they show up on
here's...
Saturday?
Yeah, they'll show up on Saturday. Here's what I want to get everyone to do, and I've never really pushed for this before. In the Synth Saturday room, there is a flyer. It will get updated to add Bonanno on, but right now there's one with the big gap between Jeff Friel and Act Attack. I want everyone to cut and paste that thing and then post the shit out of it on Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you use. And if you don't use
Put it on
any
your
social media,
MySpace and your
then
live journal.
let's
Live
spam this
journal.
fucking thing, because the last one we did with just a minimum, we were able to cast a net wide enough that a lot of people who were looking for synthesizer-based content found it on Twitch for the first time. It was basically a loud enough signal that a lot of people who had been interested but just didn't know where to go finally were able to kind of hook on, and they joined in. And that's a lot of the people that we now know and that are really around. So that's Squirrel, that's IOU. So there's a good number of other people that are just watchers and listeners, and we want to make sure that we're consolidating and bringing in all these folks, because we're sharing music, and the more we can share with, the merrier. So the best way to do that would be to get loud right now over the next few days. So if everyone could go grab that flyer and post the shit out of it on Facebook and Twitter specifically. And if you're in any synth groups, don't break any rules. So don't do like a low effort post in those groups, but explain kind of what's going on. Hey, we're doing this thing on Twitch. You might not know too much about the Twitch streaming community, but this is what's going on. These are the synth artists. Come hang out, get involved. This is happening all weekend long. This is how to kind of catch on and see where it's at. Just that kind of message will go a long way, and we'll be able to increase the visibility, get a more powerful raid train going. And it is an awesome lineup. There's just a bunch of great artists that are going to be playing, some which are here today. There's some who are really getting to the raid train with us for the first time as well, and I've been checking out their streams. So there's IOU. They're fantastic. If you haven't caught them, they're awesome. Neon
Crazy.
is obviously is the fucking bomb. Indigo, I haven't caught the music part of yet, but I've watched them play Call of Duty, and they're quite entertaining. Squirrel's awesome. Makes really kind of like driving old school kind of sensibility tracks and like play songs, and then I'm on, so that'll be a waste of a few hours. But then Moonhouse has a whole new rack rolling into Volca, who's the co-organizer, and Jeff Farrell. That's an awesome lineup. And then if that hits Monano, you're getting kind of the DAW-based jam that onto Actitech. I've recently discovered Actitech, came to one of my streams. They do their own stream. They're exactly like us. He does a stream that is really fantastic, and I think maybe like one of me and Al's friends, but I could be wrong on that. And then on to Ix, so it's going to be Ix, then on to Salvo, and I'm not going to fluff you guys up too much. You know that I love you. On to Callus. Callus, what you got going on? What's going up this Saturday?
I've got 12 sequences ready to go. They haven't been deleted yet, but
Don't delete them.
Deleted very soon.
Don't do that. Don't delete them.
Yeah, don't delete them. Don't spill that White Claw.
Well, I didn't delete them on purpose last time, but it happened.
Yeah, well now don't do it.
Whatever you did last time. Hey, did you figure out what happened?
I didn't figure out what happened. Well, okay. So when you write all song and sequences on the MPC 2500, it overwrites everything, which is what I'd been doing to that point. But because I wouldn't go back to jam with old songs, I never realized it. So I was actually overwriting all my songs all along every time I started a new one.
Oh.
But now, instead of doing new songs, I do new sequences, which are technically in the same song, but when I go over to a new sequence, it's basically a whole new jam.
A whole new jam.
And
Whole new jam.
I've got 12 of them ready to go, which should fill up my 2-hour slot pretty nicely.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah. You should also turn it into like a drinking game challenge. Like, can Callus stay upright for 2 hours with Wambra counting him down the whole time?
He can do it. The
Well,
guy,
Totally do it.
I'm
Guys,
planning on adding a channel points reward for hydrate, because I don't want to put drink on there because I don't want to get thrown off Twitch for whatever. But if I
Right.
just put hydrate in quotes, I think that'll get the point across.
well, there's that hydrate bot. You can just put quotes around it.
Yeah, the just air quotes or scrotes, I guess.
Scrotes?
Scrotes.
Scrotes.
Speaking of scrotes, Ix, show
Yes.
us the pipe. You got a glimpse of it.
Pipe.
Let us see the pipe. There it is.
Wait,
Alright.
That's a
Wait for the
freaking work
pipe.
of art.
wait for the pipe.
You doing the pipe? You doing the pipe?
Keep doing the pipe.
I will be plugging that
Keep
pipe
doing
in.
it. Oh yeah. Oh, that thing's a lot bigger than I expected. That's
I
cool as
keep that a
hell.
lot.
It's actually smaller than I expected. I thought it was going
It's
to be like
so
the size of
weird.
a saxophone.
I know. It's like it's small of the size of a very small saxophone.
It looks like a kiwi board or a kiwi bird.
It's actually something for smoking things. I don't know.
Yeah.
You got it. You immediately drilled a hole into it and turned it into a bong. Just wrecked it.
I don't know what else it's supposed to be for.
Wait.
ripping
Is
a
it a
great
speaker
glass.
on it, or does it come out of a
No.
cable?
It comes out of a cable. So there's a
Right.
special cable that like there's a breakout box that it attaches to. And
Thank
that's where
you,
all the audio
Soma.
comes out of.
For not including a shitty speaker.
Oh, here comes
Right?
the countdown.
Uh-oh. Yeah, instead I like the fact that you're trying to jam with it, but it has like all like the settings on this side. So you're like,
You need to
Oh.
install a
What am I doing?
mirror.
I know, totally. I'll
Yeah.
just have the camera on. I'll just be like,
Mhm. Oh, install a two-way mirror.
I do
Now-
that anyway, but that's for personal things.
Yeah, but if you install, you can get them. They're little plates of polycarbonate. You can get it
Right.
from any plastic store, and just affix that on there. So when you're playing, you just kind of slide it up and then point the back face of it towards the audience or the camera, and then they can kind of see through it mostly, and you're getting a beautiful, very weird reversed image of all the settings. Just learn to
Perfect.
read
That's so-
backwards.
That's so sensible.
Here's what I think you should do. I think you should put a mirror there, and then another mirror over here, then another mirror over here, and then finally one over here, so that it can be reflecting what's on the other side of it when you have that angle going.
Or you can put a mirror over there, and then a mirror over there, and a mirror over there, and then a collimating lens, and then a second collimating lens, and then a final focus lens, and then the last mirror, and then you can read it.
Yeah.
Just
I
play
think
the
And
damn
then-
pipe.
You just
Play
can't
the pipe.
move. Just
Who wants
don't
the freaking
move.
pyrotechnics? Just play the damn pipe.
There you go.
I just
know,
gotta
I-
let Womper
I
know
think
that
I-
I'm
I think
officially out of
I think
shots.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
You're out of
gonna need
shot.
to get some. You need to get some more goose for the weekend.
You're gonna need
Yeah.
some CO2 because we need the low smoke.
So I'm playing with this with like the looper mode on the Deluge, and I realize that I'm really shitty at beatboxing, and this thing is really good for beatboxing.
Well, get good.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
you have a
today-
reason. Now you have a reason to get good at.
I know, but it's also really good if you have asthma and you try to beatbox into this thing because there's
Yeah.
nowhere
How
to
how
go.
amazingly awesome and stupid would that be if NobCon does happen and me and you can do a Soma weird pipe thing beatboxing tracker set?
I think that the Eastern European community would be most impressed with us.
I will wear the lederhosen and you can choose some other unusual garb.
I'm not surprised that you have lederhosen.
Yeah, me neither.
What gave it
Probably
away
was
is
wearing
last
it
name.
right now.
I mean, I'm planning on buying some, but that's for purely other reasons.
Sure. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
they're
sex reasons,
multifunctional.
right? We know.
But
Sex
yeah,
reasons.
that pipe plus
No.
this and we'll be in
Right?
good shape.
That's beautiful, by the
It
way.
is.
That-
Click
It's-
it. Put it
all
up
metal.
to the mic. Put
I
it up to
kinda
the
didn't
mic and
expect
click
that.
Oh,
the buttons.
Nice.
Oh
Click
yeah.
the buttons. I want to hear it. That's what we all want to hear.
Yeah.
There you go. This is properly.
Holy
assembled.
shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's a sample right
properly
there.
cooking.
Look, once again, 2 weeks in a row, I kind of got an awkward boner going.
And then the pads.
huh?
Oh.
Nice.
This is
But
Welcome-
this knob. Oh, the knob is so good.
Wait.
The knob feels like pure quality. Oh, it's so good. And all metal.
ASMR channel of coherence.
So if you listen to the
All right, I'll be right back.
oh,
You can go masturbate.
Yeah, he's got to rub one out real quick.
Yeah.
I gotta go
Yeah.
break the Womber seal.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, these
Oh.
are the buttons are good though. They're all mechanical and
The
nice and
Womber
bouncy.
seal, yes.
That sounds like a butthole thing.
And it's very metal. Yeah, I think it has a polycarb cover on the front fascia just for like picture / protection. But man, it's nice.
As the Brits would say, he's going to have a wank.
Indeed.
Oh boy. Bite!
Yeah.
The thing you
Thank you,
posted
Co.
from it sounded awesome, Co. Are you ready to go live with it? You gonna do some streaming and show us it like live? Just
that
it.
I used it then, and then I tracked one other thing out, and then it's been in that case since I just pulled it out now.
Oh,
Yeah, I pretty much just work and sleep.
Yeah, I've been there.
Me too.
I quit that job.
Yeah. Same.
baiting.
Well, the job market is so lucrative these days.
I know
Indeed.
you can't exactly just jump
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to be like chill out.
The thing that tipped me over the edge to getting rid of that job, which was like 60, 80-hour weeks, was literally the Decker's dream. I plugged it in. I'm like, I got a half an hour to play this every couple days. I'm like, no, and I quit. I put my 2 weeks notice in and got another job
That
because
makes
this
sense.
this is one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. I am
This
not
is
going to just
saving
sit
my
here and
life.
stare at it until my brain is freaking tapioca and I don't know what to do with myself. So I had to make a decision. It was a very good decision.
Nice. That was a quick wank there, Callus.
Yeah, I'm good like that.
Efficiency.
Or bad. One of the two. Depends on who you're dealing with.
Well, it's only for me, so it's good.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That is the
Womber-
right answer.
Womber rejected it, by the way. He did
Lumber
not want.
rejected his seal being broken.
He did not want to be branded as the Wombra seal. Yeah, we're going to new turf. Since Saturday, we're
I am
we're
so
going
sorry.
since Saturday. We spent 10 minutes talking about wanking. Anyway, Papa John. All right, we need some female guests to clean these guys up a bit. Yeah.
yeah.
Probably. I don't know. I think I would hope we still make the baiting joke though. That one is still too good. That's idiocracy. That's not really
It depends on who the female guest is, because I know like Lori will not be a guest on this, and B, she won't make it any better. She's fucking horrible.
Yeah, if we can get women who can get on here and be horrible and make it worse, that would be really awesome, and we should probably figure it out.
No, I'll talk to Lori.
Yep. Papa John Gulag Winkin.
We can just call the show that from now on.
Papa John Gulag Wanksplain. Yep.
I mean,
That's that's where we're going with this. All right.
Okay,
There was-
join us.
Voice ASL.
We can have a lady take over the stream. I'll work on that. I'll find some of the ladies who've been on the stream, and we'll have all you gals back on. And well, okay, we'll talk about that. Co and I have traditionally, when we've done that, we kind of just hang out in the back and do the Waldorf and Statler thing. But you guys want to have just like a full-blown takeover of the stream, we can just join Callus and Womber and drink ourselves to oblivion that night and keep our cameras off too. So let's do it. I'm down. We'll take Gear-Splaining to totally new turf.
Off we
Aight.
go.
Yep. Getting back to it.
Does anybody
Since
remember
Saturday.
real quick? Does anybody remember what the Pioneer DJM V10 was supposed to be MSRP'd at?
Too much? I don't know. I don't even
Yeah,
know
I
what that
remember
is.
it being like way too much, not just too
Mm.
much.
It has to be. I mean, all that
Um,
stuff is just way
Need
too
more
much.
liquids.
Is that the mixer with oh yeah. This thing is stupid.
Yeah, but I remember it being like way too much, and now I see that it's actually retailing for 3,200, which is still too much, but it's more in the realm of like, yeah, it's too much, versus fuck you, Pioneer. I want to say it was over $5,000 when they originally announced it. Maybe they got their
wait.
heads checked. They were like, well, we are charging $15 a month for the shitty software you need.
I vaguely
$5,000?
recall that, but the only cool feature that I think a DJ might buy this for, or professional installation, to me, is like the dual stuff. So you can have dual Q systems, and then you can hook up two different thumbsticks to it to run record box. So
Oh
you can
no,
allow...
this thing is legitimately completely fucking badass, but it's just not $3,200 that I want to spend badass.
Yeah, but I mean, how many DJs actually need 6 channels?
The techno ones.
The really,
Really?
really good techno guys are using 6 channels.
Yeah,
using 4?
the Model 1 play differently. Yeah, 6 channels.
I want to hear a mix of someone who's authentically using 6 channels and they're
Just
still a DJ.
look at Richie Houghton, for example, right? What does he do? He uses 4 X1 controllers and feeds in I think 8 sessions or like 8 decks from Tractor, but he's just playing loops. Like everything is loops and like little sequences, and that's it. And then it's all just layering. He's building it on the fly. And so for that, you need a lot of channels. 6 seems to be kind of the sweet spot. 8 would be nice, but 6 plus the mic channels, you can get by.
Yeah, well,
It
he's doing
works.
that, and he's also got like a modular rig running in his last tour.
Mhm. Yeah, that was an interesting addition. But yeah, this thing has got some really neat stuff.
So for everyone who's not Richie Houghton, I think that 6 is like getting real ambitious. I think 99% of DJs, if they threw 6 tracks in, it would be like just to see what would happen. It
Yeah,
would
but
just
that's
be
the
a
thing. This
gigantic
isn't
mess of
this
sound.
isn't geared at DJs. I mean, this is for the, kind of DJ producer, that little weird mid spot. Basically what the MX1 is trying to address. This does that. With the exception of, I'm pretty sure it still uses RCAs. Fuck you. Stop it.
It's got stereo channels and RCAs, and it works off of record box. There's
It does
nothing
have.
for
Well, no, the record box is just a whatever. I use it to prep the tracks because
USB
you have
sticks,
to,
but
yeah.
no one who's a synth person is buying this. If you're a synth person, you're absolutely skipping this.
Yeah, but that's because that is 100%. There's only 2 reasons. 1, RCAs, or 2, you're fucking dumb. I mean, if we take the cost out of the equation, because this is the thing that the MX1 is trying to do, except doing it right, with the exception of the stupid RCAs. If we could lose that little affectation and that little throwback to the past, like, yeah, RCAs were cool when we had turntables, guys. Do you have your phono ground hookup? Fuck you. Build a real mixer. Like, for today, for real devices. Give us 1/4 inch. Give us combo jacks. If you want to give us RCAs, cool. Do it for a monitor out or something. But come on.
Yeah, it doesn't have enough channels for a real synth person. Take cost of the equation. You still need to double the channel count and throw a bunch of mono channels in there.
Well, that's the thing. It has plenty of channels because you have, I think, 4 sends. You have a send per channel and then 6 returns, all routable. So, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're talking about the addressable channels that have channel strips that which you'd perform on, there's 6 of them. No one's gonna. I mean, you may rig it up and find a clever way to use the sends in order to expand that and get more things out of it, but you're really then losing the functionality that.
Well, if we're talking about
the value is built in for.
If we're talking about most synths, then it's an 8 channel because you do have 2 mic inputs, which are mono, and still have EQs and still get mixed into the master bus and can still be sent and returned to and from.
Has
And it has
anybody
a really
bought this
slick
piece of
effector on
garbage?
it. What's that?
Has anybody bought this piece of garbage?
I don't know. I think it's been out for about 20 minutes.
They've given away a bunch. The whole Facebook DJ thing that took off when COVID-19 hit. Like a lot of the big name DJs suddenly had them in their streams, and it was like pretty clear that Pioneer was trying to like get them out there and get people playing with them. And they all were doing the same exact thing. They were just running a laptop with 2 channels off of it, and this was just like
Facebook
fucking
not
mix.
dealing with the same DCMA shit that we're dealing with.
Oh no, Facebook is dealing with much worse DMCA issues. Facebook cuts off every single one of those streams with fucking pathetic because they were all like at 40 minutes they get shut down. Then there'd be a post from the person. They'd be like, haha, hey, sorry, we have technical difficulties. They'd try to do it again. Then they'd be like, fucking Facebook. It's like, hey, yeah, we told you that Facebook wouldn't let you do this. Literally, why didn't you figure that out?
Oh shit! This one's also okay. So there is one other thing that they added on here, which I have in the 900, which is really really cool, and that's that multi-IO USB jack, where you plug in like literally any class compliant device and it just works. Like, here, I'm gonna plug in my iPad and load up, the Minimoog app, and then yeah, you got a Minimoog that's patched in and works, and you can like run signal to it or from it or whatever. They should really have that on more modern mixers. That is really slick. And an isolator EQ and a hardware filter at the master and a hardware filter on every single channel, although one shared resonance. Wah wah.
Yeah, I think that's all right. If you're going on the channel, you don't you're not really doing, resonant synthesis. You might just want to add a little bit of bite to it. You're not really tweaking up the resonance and customized ways to the timer in order to bring out different harmonics. You're mostly trying to just squash the sound down or fade it up. So I don't really think that you need per channel resonance setting.
Speaking of squashing the sound down, it also has a compressor per channel with adjustable threshold. I assume that it's a threshold and probably ratio combo of some sort, but yeah, anyway, neat.
I think that if you drop the price on this a whole bunch, you might actually get DJs buying it. But I think you take it down to $1,000 and you still don't see a flood of synth people getting it just because the IO is not what those folks are looking for.
They're just getting a Mackie, a Soundcraft, a Allen and Heath. Those are the synth people are going for that stuff.
And even then, I still think that's not quite right. I think that there's something to be said for the conventions and performability of a DJ mixer versus those which are really for doing a band, right? So that does need to get addressed. But this thing has that in spades, and it's incredibly performable. It's a fantastic DJ mixer, albeit.
And then they put RCAs all over it.
And they put RCAs over it. So if you have your Prophet 6, you spent a couple $1,000 on it, your Deckard's Dream. Are you really going to take that down to RCA and plug it into this thing? No fucking way.
No.
I'm going to do that to your signal, so you're just going to skip past it. And that's just an unfortunate thing, and needs to have more of them. So I would say, hey, Pioneer, make a 12-channel version of this. Make 6 of them mono, 6 of them stereo. Cut the price down to $1,200. Get rid of some of the feature set that is really DJ specific, and then you'd start to see synthesists who are really into performability to give it an honest look, and then you could start
that's the name of the game today. Like, everybody's doing live performance, right? That's the thing. It's like, sure, you can release an album or whatever, but like live performance, that's where it's at. And granted, right now it's a little shitty, but big picture, it's all headed that direction. And right now we have the MX1.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's literally it. And it's just like, here's the MX1 with this laundry list of caveats, and it's kind of like, it's the best thing that's available.
And it's
because it's the only thing that's available. And meanwhile, you have all these companies that are spitting out these admittedly very complicated DJ mixers that are really more for the producer / performer DJ type person, but they're still building it as if it's a DJ mixer. Like, who's the Ellen and Heath Zone 96 buyer who's playing like EDM or top 40? Fuck you. Like, that's not happening. So stop it. Just get rid of the goddamn RCAs and put some real inputs on there, and then don't give us different types of EQs for like the mic channel. Like on the mic channel on the Zone 96, they've got this beautiful parametric selector EQ for the mid, like the scooping mids, and then for your main, they give you like not that, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, who is this for? Like, I don't understand.
You can get incredible performability if you something like this. It would need to be like twice as big, and the thing is like, okay, what's driving the cost of this? Is each channel strip because it's hardware analog and it sounds really good? Is that what the cost is? Is if they were to give us a 12-channel version of this, if they were to add that, I mean, take half the sends out and just make them hardware channels, but then you got to throw knobs in there. You got to make it, if the concept of it is performability, you got to make it performable. There's no fucking point otherwise. So you have the IO, you have the internal routing, but you got to give it the full channel strip with the performance features.
Yeah, and also to all mixer manufacturers and designers, when you exceed the threshold of 4 channels and you start building that monster mixer for the DJ performer producer person who's going to do live jams with multiple instruments, don't put a fucking crossfader on there. We don't need it. Nobody wants it. Make it removable. Make it an option. Just get it out of there. Nobody cares. No, there's no executioners or like the Incredible Scratch Pickles or fucking DJ Craze who's like, yeah, dog, give me the V10. I want my Zone 90. No, that's not happening. That's never happening. Nobody's scratching on a 16-channel mixer.
Well, actually, it's Invisible Scratch Pickles. Okay, you said Incredible. I just gotta put it. Well, actually, totally with you. Get rid of the crossfader. Put
put a bunch of extra channels on there, simplify things on the monitoring section, but leave the dual monitoring thing because people might combo it up. That's the thing that bugs me about this is it looks like they're reaching Richie Houghton does it, and who does what Richie Houghton does other than Richie Houghton? There's just not many people. Everyone else who reaches for it doesn't grow it organically. They're just trying to mimic him.
There are a bunch of people though, like Sidla Rock, and I can think of a bunch of other people that will go out, but they're not. They haven't, they're doing kind of what we're doing, but instead of doing Twitch, they're doing like local clubs, which sometimes their local clubs are amazing. Like Depayek, right? That's another one who's like, Depayek, what does he do? He just jams on synths. Well, like, but what's he like? Where's he from? What's he do? I don't know, somewhere in Germany, and he jams on synths and like goes and drinks a fucking glass of wine in the meadow and like sets up 14 synths that cost more than your car. Like, that's just what he does, right? And even him, he had to use that one Mackie that I showed you with the iPad insert thing for it. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but also still, it's this like laundry list of caveats. Like, just give us a real goddamn mixer. Seeing that guy play live, it's hilarious to see like how he has to cobble shit together to make it work.
Well, this looks like they're approaching that, but they're still trying to make it for like DJs who want to expand to that area. And I would rather see Pioneer say, okay, fuck it, we're just gonna go right. Come to the other side and be like, all right, what do the synth people need? There's nothing addressing that market. Let's take our mixer know-how and let's craft the perfect thing for them.
Yep.
Because no one has done that. Roland is the only people who've taken a swing. That's it. No one else has even taken a swing at making a performance mixer for synth folks. Every
for a
other mixer
multi-instrumentalist. Yeah.
Is every other one is it's what you do to make a band play.
Yeah, you either get a monitor desk in various sizes and flavors, or you get a DJ mixer, a very ill-conceived DJ mixer. It makes no sense, and it drives me absolutely crazy. And I'm in a position where like, hey, I'll give you money, just make a thing. And everybody's like, here, we made this thing. Like, seriously, who is the V10 for? Like, all RCAs? So you're saying it's CDJs. Okay, no, they'll be like, well, no, you get like 4, DJS 1000 samplers and 2 CDJs. And now you're talking. It's like, yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. If I wanted to spend like $20,000 and have a $15 a month subscription, no thanks. I want to use synthesizers. I want to use my drum machines. I want to use something other than samples. How about that? Anyway.
Persona Studio Live 32SC 32 channel digital mixer Neon House says that's looking pretty good. It is looking pretty good. I still think that it fits more into the whole this is a really great machine for a live band as opposed to this is the mixer as a performable unit. Like take the philosophy of what DJs do on the mixer, which is that's the thing they perform on, and just use that to make synths and other things happen so that there's a performance element that can happen there. This thing, the Studio Live 32, what you're going to do with it is you're going to get a real great sound. You're going to set it up, and everything's going to always be that way. You're not going to be cutting channels in and out. You're not going to be doing quick mutes. You're not going to be throwing performance or time-based effects on there. You're not going to use it to extract another layer out of it.
So here, is this the Studio Live 32 that we're talking about? Yeah. Somebody confirm. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so right here, so you've been booked at a local club to jam, right? And so now the guy before you, he has 2 drum machines and he's got his laptop and Ableton. He's plugged into the Snake, and now the changeover is going to happen. It's 5 minutes, and then he's going to pull all the stuff off the table when he's done because he's kind of half stoned and had a few of the house drinks. So he gives you, maybe 1 minute and 27 seconds left to set up your gear. And so the first thing that you do is you haul your PreSonus. What the? No, this is not going to work for your live jam.
The thing is huge.
It's already
beautiful.
Hard enough to play
it's nice,
synth
and it belongs in a museum. No, it belongs in your studio.
It belongs in the studio. Yeah.
Not jamming. There's nothing jammable about this.
This thing belongs in a road case in a truck for a small band that goes on tour, or as a permanent installation in a club that hosts bands all the time.
Let's cut the bass on channel 5. Oh, okay. Let me just press this button to highlight channel 5, and then bring up the EQ module, and then reach all the way across the desk to knob number 3, and then no, that's actually my mid bass. I'm gonna have to move down 1. Come on.
You know what else this is really good?
The Studio Live 24 4.2.
Hey, there we go.
about 10 years old, and it seems to have a lot more controls on it than the current one that's coming out. I haven't
Cost
actually
savings.
taken it out of the box yet.
Well, do you have an iPad?
To pull the
Right.
knobs off it. But that's going to be my new
Let-
mixer once I get things set up in my new studio.
So number 1, Pioneer, Alan Heath, take notes. Look at the rear I/O. Look at it. Let it burn into your retinas. Good. Now, moving on. The Alan and Heath. What is
You guys
it? The
just want a good
SQ5.
MX1. That's just what you keep. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah,
A
pretty
what?
much.
Yep.
A good
Like, you
MX1.
just want a good one, a good MX1.
Okay, so here we've got 3 tracks playing, and we noticed that one of them is we want to bring that out, and we want to do a cool little filter sweep. So we just press the green button to highlight track 5, bring up the filter module, choose the resonance and the cutoff, and map that to the... No! This isn't going to work! Put it in your studio. It's beautiful. I love it. It's a brilliant piece of hardware. It's not a live performance tool.
I don't know. It seems like
Hey.
the dub guys did a pretty good job with their beat up BBC mixers.
Right?
You just need a good EQ and faders. You're done.
That's right. You do. You need a good EQ and faders, and that you're pretty much set. And some routing.
Yeah.
Mutes and Q monitoring. Mutes and Q monitoring. Mutes solos and Q monitoring. You get all that, you got it going.
Mm-hmm.
But solos are even optional. You can basically solo just by using a lot of mutes. You know
Not
what
only are
these
they
mixers
optional,
look
they're
like for me?
100% optional now with all the new digital consoles.
These
Everything is
things
only
look like
6
they would
button
be
clicks
great
away.
in theaters. So if you're a Broadway
Hey,
show and you
Octopus.
need to save a bunch of
Octopus.
scenes. Oh hell
Octopus.
yeah! There he made it.
Yeah, I
Zalo.
made it. How you guys?
Excellent.
It's still sunny there.
It is. It's still sunny.
It's
We're all
always
yelling at
sunny
each other
there.
right now. It's
Always
great.
sunny.
How y'all doing?
Good. We're throwing down
Doing
on
great.
mixers. We like to. We have a rage section of the show that's usually the back hour where we just
The
rage
co-flow?
at stupid gear.
Half the show.
Yeah.
Cool.
The topic is multi-instrumentalists, live mixers. What is one to do? Do you buy some various form of a monitor desk, or do you buy a DJ mixer and adapt everything to unbalanced RCA? Go.
Oh, dude. Well, so I do sound like that's the job I have. So I do tons of events,
God damn it.
everything from bands to like DJ events to everything. And as far as like performing live, like electronic style stuff, I bring an X32 console to my shows.
I love the X32. I would probably
It works.
shoot myself if I had to work on it at the same pace as I do a standard DJ set. I think that's
Yeah.
the little niche in the market that is missing. And you see things we were just talking about, like for example, the Pioneer, the V10, the DJM V10. It's like the 6+2 channel monster mixer, 4-band EQ, filter per channel, and another filter on the master. Like, it's beautiful and it works great.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it's loaded with
awesome.
RCAs, and you're like, okay, what am I gonna do with this? Or the Allen and Heath, Zone 64. It's like, or I'm sorry, the Zone 96. It's like, yeah, this is nice. This is a beautifully refined piece of hardware. It sounds great. RCAs, like,
Yeah, the RCA thing is just bizarre to me. Too many adapters of
Mhm.
RCA to quarter inch,
Yep.
and it's frustrating. Like that's
That should be-
something, but that's kind of the big difference between one of the main differences between DJ oriented gear and like hardware oriented gear.
and that's the thing though, is hardware oriented gear. I think for the longest time, like, we've gotten by with mixing desks or monitor desks, some kind of a
Yeah.
reinforcement desk, and that works fine for the most part. But like, if you want to start bringing it a little bit closer to real time, I think there's a bridge there that needs to happen. Like, bring some of those DJ
Yeah.
features up, and bring some of the kind of professional features down.
Oh, fuck.
Wambra made a comment in chat about how crochet is more punk than electronic music. Damn. But
Throwing
also,
down.
I don't think that applies to anyone around here. But
where you at in Maui?
everywhere else,
Out of
yes.
curiosity.
Place with
Oh,
some
we lost
bad
them.
cell reception.
Do
It's on
some-
T-Mobile, and they're just now getting the outage.
Oh,
He's done with us.
time difference and all that. Yeah.
Can't deal with our bullshit.
There was, yeah, he's hooked up via RCA to the cell phone tower, and
Oh, unbalanced connection.
yeah, then a volcano went off, and that fucks with cell phone reception. Let's see, what other reasons could he be frozen right now? The weather is too good, so he said "fuck it" with the streaming thing and went outside.
That could be.
I think he was
God
already
damn it.
outside.
Dude, so wait, he plays the synths all day, and he does live sound for his actual job, and lives in Maui.
Yeah.
Pretty
What are
much
the
perfect.
sequence of choices that I made in my life that led to not that?
Right.
And can I change things now? God damn it. I'm never getting out of here. Yeah, he'll never move. But God, just knowing that's a possibility makes it tempting.
Dude,
I mean, they-
I actually keep up on like housing prices in Maui, because I really like it there. And if I'm old and decrepitated and just want to like play synths on a mountainside, that's the best place. It's the best. So
Yeah, that sounds totally awesome. Part of me, like, I've got this weird dream of getting like a satellite dish in a camper when the girls move out, and just like selling the house and being a total nomad and just staying in camping grounds, and that's life for till I kick it.
That sounds like unadulterated hell.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
you said camping. Are we talking about some like Star Trek future where you have like a portable fusion generator to power your synthesizers, or?
No campgrounds with power.
Unlimited air conditioning.
Yeah, there's definitely air conditioning involved. Look, this is a fantasy. Get off it. Okay, Wamber says I totally misunderstood it because I didn't understand what crochet was, and I'm looking up crochet. No, A Bridgewater said that. Well, you don't understand where I'm coming from, Dan Kushner. Hold on, I have to see.
Oh,
Good job.
God damn it. Oh,
God damn.
oh. Holy
Yeah,
in
so-
Cleveland. Son of a bitch.
I think yeah, I should have muted. God damn.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think a lot of electronic music is as safe and sanitized and business techno as possible, and it bothers the fuck out of me. Yeah, sorry that you by attending this stream you just got COVID from me.
Yeah, no kidding. God.
Yeah,
COVID
starting to-
stream.
I already need a new lung.
So I have my own understanding of where electronic music on a whole is at, but I honestly think that there's like an edge, an innovation edge, a dangerous edge that is coming from people who just get online and play and don't really give a fuck. And I think that's that to me is the most important kind of attitude to bring to it. Now, if you're talking about like musical style, yeah, none of it's even close to punk rock. That's obviously very true. But to me, like the modern EDM stuff is definitely the opposite of punk rock.
Oh yeah.
It couldn't be more different. It's what it is against.
It's the opposite of music.
I think that's more accurate.
I mean, punk rock was a creation for selling stuff anyway. It was total capitalism.
Yep. Was it McLaren or
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was McLaren just had a clothing store and wanted to make it popular, so he got some assholes together and made up punk rock. So people that think that it was revolutionary, it wasn't. It was literally a Kmart blue light special.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Enjoy your punk rock, kids.
Country music has
What
similar
about
origins.
post-punk?
What's that?
What about post-punk?
Well, that was the thing, right? Because post-punk was kind of like the response to that, and this was a whole bunch of like poor kids in the UK and everything like
yeah.
that were, or like it was mostly like based around Sheffield was where a lot of the post-punk
And
got its start,
Manchester.
and Manchester, and those were like piss poor industrial towns that were just horrible, and these kids were just bored. And
I'm in
like,
Manchester, New
Factory
Hampshire.
Records.
Yeah, right. Well, there's a couple documentaries. One of them's called Synth Britannia that goes into the
Yeah,
whole
that's
post
awesome.
movement.
That's
And
an
there's
awesome.
the one guy was talking about is like I could have either bought a Korg MS-20 or a car, and I still can't drive a car.
Yes,
You
the
know?
Human League. That was the
Yeah.
Human League
Yeah,
guy.
Martin Ware. Yeah, Martin Ware from Human League. But yeah,
It's
so
called
that was
Synth Britannia.
Synth
It's
Britannia. And it's
absolutely
all,
worth watching.
yeah.
It's great.
And
That
then
sounds awesome.
and there's another one that's all about the Manchester post-punk scene that has like Cabaret Voltaire in there and Heaven 17 and Talk and these guys. And they're talking about how like fucking like these synth pop bands are opening for Def Leppard because they were both from Manchester and that was what they did. And shit like that. But it's
Shout to Cabaret Voltaire. It's
fuck yeah,
freaking
Richard Kirk.
amazing.
Man.
Amazing. Everything they've
Absolutely.
made is great.
Yeah.
There are
If you-
authentic underground scenes, and I guess when I say punk rock attitude, I'm more or less talking about that don't care about convention, that are more interested in kind of a development or organic growth stylistically, that could care less about what cues are happening on the mainstream, that are a response to the times, but just in kind of a musical way, that are artistic response to the times. The one that always sticks with me in the United States, that I guess there's two, and that's the emergence of like rave and grunge. Grunge was like an obvious response to the commercialism of guitar-driven rock. It was, and I think that the earliest years of it were pretty fucking authentic. So that and techno that came out of Detroit and early house music all have this level of authenticity where innovators and real artists sparked and created something new, and it was a true moment of actual inspiration that had absolutely nothing to do with calibration for a marketing purpose or selling or being regression to the mean or trying to calculate for what the people are going to want. Instead, just being totally honest with the art and letting that and the times craft what sound is going to happen. And I think that when you put all that together, you end up having the beginning of these movements. And then once they start to get larger, they get totally watered down by the people who want to commercialize it and exploit it and pull as much money out of it. And that's when you get to the whole business techno thing. That's when you have someone say, well, this is great what you've done with this techno and electronica thing. What if we put a few MBAs on this thing? And then MBA man is like, well, here's a fucking template. You got to make sure everything applies to this, and make sure you reject any track submissions for the label that don't follow this exact fucking format. Because if this section is a little bit too long, that's just not fitting our style guides. Well, I think that happened to someone in this stream, did it now?
Maybe.
Speaking of templates, I was at work earlier and we were listening to a 90s dance station on Pandora, which is usually what plays at my work. And I counted 8 songs in a row that used a 909.
Yeah, like the 909, like the Madonna version where the kick is pitched up too much, right? Like a really badly EQ'd 909.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the era, and that's kind of how some of those things kind of moved into the forefront of popular consciousness, and popular artists always have looked to like these underground movements and borrowed elements in order to stay relevant, or at least try to stay relevant. And so, hey, if there's a 90s Pandora station, how often is D-Light on there? Is it all the fucking time?
Right.
Absolutely.
That's actually a decent moment. There's real artists that have become popular too.
That's
shades of
actually
gray.
good. The D-Light's actually good. That album was genuine.
Yeah, D-Light is one of them. Jamiroquai is one of them. Their albums are fucking incredible, and they were very popular for a while there.
I'm a big fan of Jamiroquai.
Yeah, they're great. They're still great. Their last album, I guess, Jamiroquai is like the funk version of Nine Inch Nails. Yeah, it's awesome. The one before it is the worst one they put out, the Rocklight Dust Star. I don't know what the hell happened there. It's the flattest album I've ever heard.
I liked the title track, and that's about it.
That's about it, yeah. Going back even further, Dynamite was awesome. There are no misses in the catalog except for that. And Automaton it wasn't even a return to form. It's not like he said, I'm going to go back to what I did that made me good. Instead, it was like, okay, I'm going to lean back into futurism and shitloads of synthesizers at a level that which I'd never done before. Automaton is a straight up synth album. Everything about it is synths. It's great.
Automaton is fantastic. But my favorite Jamiroquai album still is their first one.
Yeah. Emergency on Planet Earth.
That's the one.
Yep, that one's great. My favorite is not Emergency on Planet Earth, though it's fantastic. Think I'm going with Dynamite. That's the one I probably listen to the most. The title track on that is absolutely the best, and I love the messages and the lyrics in that one.
It's so good.
Yeah, very popular though. Virtual Insanity was like a #1 hit, and he got like MTV awards and stuff. That band made it all the way.
Played all
That
the
music
time.
video was pretty damn good.
Yeah, music video was
helped a lot.
awesome.
And his dancing in that video was just incredible. Like, he moved like he was not a person. He moved like he was a robot.
He's on treadmills, right? He did the treadmill thing.
I don't know what he did, but I liked it.
It was
So
a
I have a-
treadmill thing, and it was awesome.
I have a story about D-Light, sort of, not D-Light themselves, but Super DJ Dimitri. So, rave in Kansas City, and I had been throwing like house parties every single week in my place, and I knew the promoter for this rave, and he's like, dude, I need to do a map point. Can we do it at your house? Everyone knows where your house is. We'll just tell them Dan's house. That's the map point, so everyone shows up there. So the headliner for it was Super DJ Dimitri. So everybody comes to my house and they pay there. There's a table set up. They get instructions on how to get to this place. It's in Topeka, right? So it's another 20-minute drive out of Lawrence in order to get there. And they all come, they pay, they go, and then we pack up and we leave to go to the show. We're way later than everyone else because we were manning like basically what had become the makeshift ticket booth that was on the info line. We get there as we're pulling in. There's a helicopter and there's flyers, and there are like no people. Everyone is cleared the fuck out. And it turned out that the party got busted almost immediately. Like as soon as it got up to numbers, the concept of having a map point was to evade detection of authorities long enough in order to keep going, and that totally did not work. So this party got busted before we even got there. So we're all disappointed. For a little bit there, we're wondering if we even just don't have the right address. So we're like looking around to see if we can hear the rumble coming through the walls somewhere, and we don't. And finally we give up and we get in our car and head back home. No one has cell phones yet. This is like 2000. If you had a cell phone, you had parents who got you a cell phone, and that was really awesome, but they weren't like commonplace yet. So we head back to our house, and we get there and there's no parking. This is my house. There's no parking. Okay, it wasn't a house. It was like an apartment, just to clarify. And that's actually important because we were on like the 3rd floor. And the reason why we were able to throw so many parties is because my neighbors came. We found out later that summer that the neighbors were coming over and partying and doing all sorts of illicit shit in my bathroom. That's a slightly different story. But so I hear the rumble, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So we park, we walk in. So to get in my house, if the door is locked, a few people knew that I left the porch open, and you could climb up from the 1st floor porch to the 2nd floor. It's like a standard apartment thing, and you could kind of get up there, and then you could get onto my porch, open up, and open the doors. And someone had done that, and then they had set up decks, took my sound system, set that up, thrown on the light system that we had, which was like it was like a bar mitzvah light that we bought from Mars Music for like $30. It was awful. And there was literally a party in my house that I did not throw, and Super DJ Dimitri was playing as I walked in my house, this surprise party that was happening in my own house. The guy from fucking D-Light was sitting there spitting in my house, and I did not even invite him there. I didn't even know he was going to be there. So apparently that was like what John, the promoter of Cicada Rhythm at the time, had told everyone when it got busted was just head back to Dan's. And then like a good 2/3 of people apparently did. And there was where the party was and continued on. And that was actually pretty cool. So that is my Super DJ Dimitri story. What's the question? Sorry about that.
Did he get busted?
No, we never got busted. Not once. My neighbors were going. Everybody who shared a wall with me, it turned out was coming. We were on the corner. It was High Point Apartments, and we're on the 3rd floor corner. So there's 2 apartments that shared walls, and everyone else was like our age and kind of like party animal city anyway. It was also summer, so a lot of people just weren't there because it was a college town. And we never got busted, and we partied there quite a bit. And yeah, we found out much later that some of the people who seemed to be regulars there were actually the neighbors. We just never formally met them. The apartment complex didn't seem to care. We just got away with it the whole time. Yep. What was the sound system I had back then? It was a shitty, like, AWA desktop sound system, like those 3 CD changer sound systems that have an aux in.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, that's what we're banging out of.
There
That
you
only
go.
gets so loud too, right? It's not like we had like a couple of 18s and people were hearing it as they were driving by. It only gets so loud. It was enough for our apartment though.
Right.
Anyway, that's my story. It's 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock depending on where you are. Man, Ock
Damn it.
didn't make it back. Feel bad.
He was
So is
done with
there
you.
any Behringer news this week? Because I got something to say about Uli.
Haha, there isn't, but you're free to hit. Yeah, do it, man.
All right. So I was thinking earlier, and so Uli, I'd like to get him in a room made entirely out of bogues. And there's only one door. And the only way to get out the door is to
All play the same note at the same
get them
time.
all
Yeah.
in tune at the same time.
Yeah, like and give them some slop. Be like, and you can they can be off by as much as 11 semitones. All they need to do is play an A440.
And
And drink.
if
In
you get
unison.
them all in tune at the same time, you can leave, but he will die in that room.
Yep.
Because he will not be able to get out of there before he feels my pain, and he will not survive.
Hey, you got a Korg Xd now. You're
Drink.
living large. That thing sounds freaking mint.
Yeah, Korg does right what Behringer does wrong, but Behringer takes the credit. It's nuts. But yeah, that thing, those bogues, I'm seeing so many people right now who bought them have like major issues with the tuning. They're falling apart. The first ones that sold
You
are,
don't say.
I've got one of the first ones that sold, and it's fucking garbage. I hate it.
garbage. Muff cabbage.
Let me tell you.
Muff cabbage. It's garbage.
Like, when I go to the Womber's place, the first thing I'm going to do is bash him in the head with it so I can kill 2 birds at once, knock him out, and break the bogue.
Oh no, we're gonna.
Why do you want to knock out Wambra?
Because Wambra is he's a Behringer sympathizer.
Behringer sympathizer.
Wambra
Oh, I
is
love
Uli, isn't he?
Notice you never see them both at the same time.
Yeah.
that. Wambra
So you're
is
not-
some kind of a trans-dimensional anagram for Uli.
Uli. Notice, yeah. Wambra.
see.
Uli.
It
They
works
both
out.
mean the same thing.
See? Yep.
Wambra. That's or Wambra, 2 syllables. Uli,
Yep.
2
Two
syllables.
syllables,
Mhm.
right? See? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's clearly the same human.
Uli
Yeah,
confirmed.
good enough for
It's
QAnon, good enough for me.
lining up.
Hold on, wait. Laughing my ass off. I know he a fake scrub lord like the rest of you, but for fuck's sake, first world immunity of normal everyday business. We so prissy. Well, Wambra, when Kals comes to visit you, I'm just saying you may want to wear a helmet.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to bash that boog right over his head.
So yeah, to everybody, violence doesn't solve anything. Just want to put that out there.
Well, as part
Shut
of
the
our
fuck up, man.
send-off, I'd like to share with you some moments from Magic the Gathering.
Yes, this will be our
yes, please.
our exit. Everyone, go
this-
make sure you listen to Synth Saturday. It's gonna be awesome.
This is in
be
celebration
awesome.
of Callus's cat.
Oh, I knew this was gonna be. It's gonna be the prison photos.
Defensive
Pr-
Magic the
Yeah,
Gathering.
it's the prison. It's the prison stance. The prison kneel. He
Yeah.
got banned. He got banned from all Magic tournaments for doing this.
Did he really? You know,
Yeah.
that's actually probably correct because I mean, it's hysterical, but also like, if I'm one of these guys, how fucking embarrassed would you be? It's not all right to publish these pictures, but it's also it happened and now it's hysterical. Like there's like a Playboy playmate who got banned and arrested because she took pictures of like this old woman who was out of shape in like the woman's locker room and she laughed at him. But it's like that's actually kind of fucked up to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the nerd version of that.
behavior. Yeah.
It's the prison kneel. That
This is
that
at the
just does
Mount
it.
Gox Bitcoin exchange.
Oh. Maybe he was taking a knee for. Never mind. No, he was taking a knee for butt cracks right
For
there.
butt cracks.
Butt
Mhm.
cracks.
For
All
crack.
right. So with that, let's head on over to Drone Hands. Call it a night. He's also on since Saturday. He's playing Saturday night. I'm on Friday, so if you're looking for me on my normal time, I'm not playing. Salvo, you're on Saturday. Ix, you're on Saturday. Callus, you're on Saturday.
I'm also on
Saturday.
tomorrow at 9 p.m. as
Cool.
usual.
So one
All
head
right,
on
guys,
over there.
peace out.
Callus
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to go pass out. Guessing, huh? See what I did there?
Yeah, I can't even read chat anymore. I'm not gonna lie.
That's all right.
You're sitting upright, man. That's a challenge in itself.
Barely.
Yeah.
And the White Claw survived another day.
Yep. The K2000 survived. All right.
That thing looks like it's gonna spill every single time, and it doesn't.
Yeah, it just
Every
fucking freaks
stream.
me out.
Yeah,
I've
man.
sure
the
it
more
is
you-
all-
on the
out.
K2000,
Squeak.
not once.
And the cats always go around it so politely.
Oh,
They step
just
all
to show
over
off-
everything, but they're nice with the White Claw.
They're very mindful.
Thank you, everybody.
The portal is open.
Until next time.
Let us do this. Thanks all.
Chupa.
Have a good one.
Chupacabras are real.
But birds are not.